Welcome to another live stream. Is that a wild hair? It is. I have a wild hair. It's a good thing I have a confidence monitor. Welcome to NAB Week. Yeah, 2024 NAB, National Association of Broadcasters is happening, is going on all day today. Sounds like I think tomorrow. And lots of new products to talk about, lots of things to cover tonight. We have a little bit of unboxing happening tonight. We're going to bring that stuff on the table here in just a minute. But I want to welcome everybody that's joining me live. And I see some people in the chat. Let's just go ahead and put chat on the air here and say some hellos. So greetings, Tony. I hope you're still in the house. Looks like you came earlier and you were able to take the front row seat. So it's good to have you in the house as always. And hope you had a great trip. Think you dropped in last night when you were getting off a plane or on a plane. So we would love to know more about that. Let's see. Chat disconnected. Well, that's not good. So let's reconnect the chat here. Find out what's going on. So I'm not sure what the deal has been with chat disconnecting. There we go. So lots more people here now. Let me pop this chat out, drag it over to my monitor. Seems like I have to drive each week. Things that normally don't give me problems. So let's get the right link in here to OBS. Make sure that everything's working right here. Let's see, this mouse, this keyboard. So let me fix this and right click paste. Okay. And then I'll click on that chat again from Tony. There it is. So also, David came in after that, and I said some highs. I guess we need to have a prize for those of you who get here so early. I know you just check in and then you disappear because I was saying to Tony, how was your trip? And anyway, so it's good to have you in the house, Hank. Hank checking in and saying hello from sunny and warm Bluffton, South Carolina. It's good to have you. David, it's good to have you in the house tonight. I'm always excited to see you guys. Doug is in the house, and David is here now, and DJ Ware is here. I'm sure we might have a little, oh, there we go. We have a TVJ sighting, and also we have Tony responding. Did you realize I accomplished what everyone has been striving to achieve? Laugh out loud. That's to David. So, yeah, so I guess the front row seat was taken tonight. So Tony gets the prize. And because of that, we will cut to the Quick Tech Solutions Tony cam right there. And then back to me and a logo. So we have lots to do tonight. Lots to cover. We're going to be unboxing. I'm continuing to add to my kit. And let's make sure chat is still on the air. There's an LOL from David because he got beat tonight for the front row seat. And then David says he's sitting in the back today. Yeah, good. So the back row seats are just as good as the front row seats. Tony says the trip was awesome, completely disconnected from tech for a week. It was awesome. Well, I hope that that was the last hurrah last week, Tony, with you being connected to tech, because you, like me, I need a break. Shannon and I have actually been spending the last couple days, 3 days, talking about the potential of a trip. And so still debating on what we want to do exactly, leaning towards a cruise out of southern Florida in January. So it's still a long ways away, but we have to plan those things a long way out. And so I can see just as good from the back here. Well, that's good to know, David. Thank you for sharing. If I get any feedback tonight, after we get a chance to get into segment 2, we're going to really have 2 segments tonight. We're going to unbox a kit that I've been putting together, and we're going to talk about some new products as well. NAB is going on, and that, again, is the National Association of Broadcasters. Lots of people make announcements in and around NAB because they're going to go to the trade show, and obviously they want to get a lot of pre-orders. Notoriously, NAB is also a test for products, so a lot of times there's products at NAB that some of them never seem to make it out into the public. Some of those things are ready to ship. Some of them will say that you might see them in May. That could be June or July, depending on what part of the country you are. So we're going to talk about that. Also unbox these things. Again, I really have kind of lately, I have this sixth sense, right? When it comes to products, I had a funny feeling that there wasn't going to be any updates to the desktop switchers as far as like new ATEM minis with more channels or anything like that. But we are going to talk about an update that's coming for the Extreme ISO model, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. There was a lot of things that Blackmagic Design announced, and shout out to Freddie Ponce, who usually every year sends me a link to tell me that the Blackmagic Design announcement is going to be any minutes away. I've had those links sent to me 5 minutes before, a day before, a couple of hours before, and it was exciting to have Freddie in the live stream last week. He was kind of vanished since December, and so shout out to him because I got to be in on the announcement, and I was just sitting doing something else on my couch that day, and all of a sudden I get this text alert from Freddie, I believe, and clicked on it, and I think in 5 minutes or so, this announcement was coming from Blackmagic Design. Now, I know a lot of you are tuned in to NAB, so I'm not really going to try to say all the things that are happening at NAB, but I have been watching, and it's happening right now. So obviously, because of that, most of the things have been revealed, but the show is so big, and videos take time to edit, and people get wore out and go back to their hotel rooms. So you always get those announcements of everybody beforehand, right? And I do have a link in the description tonight of one of my all-time favorite influencers on YouTube announcing one of the products that we're going to talk about tonight, and mainly because I watched his video earlier today, and I thought, yeah, it should be in some of my announcements. I do use this product line, or actually this product manufacturer, but I don't have that line. And so we'll touch on those things a little bit later. But I do have a number of things tonight we're going to unbox. So let's just see if anybody else has joined us tonight and respond to these last few chats here before we get going. My clock is completely off, so I'm going to lose track of time today. I don't know what's going on, but my clock in my studio is at 3 o'clock, and right now my phone says 4:08. So I promise we'll get started unboxing at quarter after, but we're going to start with unboxing 3 or 4 items I have. And again, that's to complete my Rode Wireless Go 2 kit. And there's one more thing that I possibly will add, maybe 2. So we're going to talk about that tonight. But let's continue just to welcome everybody as people arrive. And let's just see here. I think I got everybody that popped in. I'm just looking for I think that's directed from DJ Ware to Tony. Yeah, it says at QuickTech Solutions. So I hope you had a number of naps, Tony. Yeah, Jamaica may be one of the ports that we stop at. One of my favorite things about cruises I took a number of years ago, a cruise I took a number of years ago on the Royal Caribbean cruise line was we walked up the Dunn's River Falls in Jamaica. That was pretty incredible. And so If you have never done that, that's pretty cool. Nice smooth rocks, and you put on your water boots and you all join hands. It's kind of a kumbaya moment, and you climb up the Dunn's River Falls. You have a guide, and then someone's videotaping you so that they can sell you that when you got to the top. And this has been so long ago, you could purchase a CD when you got back up. So they would videotape up to halfway, then run and edit somehow, burn some DVDs, and then be ready with them in a packet for you to get back to the debark place. So it's quite funny that they have that already. Yeah, I said this earlier. If you guys would consider hitting the like button tonight, that will really help me out. I would appreciate that. Also, if you haven't rang the bell or you're watching and you haven't subscribed, I do have subscribe only chat on. And so I set that for a minute. So if you were to subscribe tonight, within a minute, you could join us in the chat. We'd love to hear from you, where you're from in the world, and join us in the conversation as we talk about NAB 2024 and some products that I've seen that are very interesting to me, as well as some conversation about some announcements from Blackmagic Design. We're going to include that in segment 2 as well. And then segment 1, we're going to be doing some unboxings right here live and plugging some things in. That'll be a lot of fun. So glad you guys are here with me. So, okay. Thank you for that, David. I appreciate that. Thank you, Tony. I appreciate that. I don't really monitor how many people are hitting the like button. I just have realized that the more I bring that up, the more likes you get. And I do want you to sit back and just enjoy the conversation and get ready to participate. I do have a couple questions tonight that so you can be thinking about this. If you've already watched any of the videos from NAB, I would like you to kind of hold that to the end of segment 2, because I would like to see if there's any products that I'm not going to bring up tonight that really captured your attention, as well as in the beginning segment here, I want to talk about wireless microphone systems and what you might have and how you use them in where you're at. So if you have a studio, and I do have my Rode Wireless Go 2 on, even though I have it muted, I will switch over to that when I start unboxing here in a minute. So you're going to be able to hear what the SM7B sounds like and what the Rode Wireless Go 2 microphone transmitter sounds like. And I've actually had clients and people here on the live stream that say they like this better than this, which is quite crazy because this is a $100 transmitter. If you already have a RØDECaster Pro 2, you can go to last week's video. I hooked up 2 of these. That's right. Inside the RØDECaster Pro 2, in the Rode Duo, is a receiver. And word is that the new video, single channel video device, I forget what it's called right now, but you guys can put it in the chat. Something streamer. Anyway, Streamer X or something like that. It has a receiver built into it as well for one of these. So a single receiver, where the RØDECaster Pro and the Duo have a dual receiver. So the RØDECaster Pro Duo is a 2-channel system. So it's got 2 XLR / quarter-inch jacks combos in the back, and the RØDECaster Pro 2 has 4. If you go back to the RØDECaster Pro, it does not have a receiver built into it. It also doesn't have the quarter-inch plug-in feature. So got to go through some hurdles if you want to get a guitar or something plugged in, because line level isn't built into that device, and you'll have to play around in order to get that. A quarter-inch line level isn't built in like it's already built in RØDECaster Pro 2. You just choose line level. So with that said, the RØDECaster Pro 2 has some of these connecting wireless options, and it's part of the reason why I've been talking about the Rode Lav Go 2, and there's the new Rode Lav Pro that's out. And we're going to talk about something else tonight that they have released as well. So, okay. I think thank you. Excellent stream last week. I appreciate it. I think that was directed at me. Also, I try to say this every single week. before we run out of intro time here, and that is this. Lots of people on this live stream that are chatting in below me. If you're watching this live or watching this after it was live, many of those people in this chat have channels, and they have very interesting things that they talk about. Fascinating. In fact, it's very diversified. And so please go over and maybe check out each of these people, find out if they have a YouTube channel, and then basically subscribe and start watching them. Now, as far as I know so far, and I might be wrong about this, but as far as going live regularly, it's me and TVJ. So I'll give a shout out to TVJ, who goes live pretty much almost every week. He's like me. There's times where our jobs take us away from here. I've been pretty consistent by making sure that most of my work is outside of Tuesdays. So Tuesdays are pretty well locked down in both my consulting business as well as in my family. So even my wife is going to a baseball game this afternoon as I'm live, and I will be sitting right here with you guys because it'll be over by the time this is over. So not to say, not looking for any sympathy over that. That's just my commitment. I love doing this, and I would love to have you go check out some of these other channels, and I'll leave it at that, and we'll move on. Okay, so let me make a little change here in SuperSource. And if you don't know what SuperSource is, that is the ability to put multiple layouts on the screen. I just don't want to show what I have on the screen right now. That's for later. So let me go into SuperSource here and make a quick little transition on input 2 and go to my PC. And then I need to turn chat off the air, Skycam back on. There you are. And so this is what we're going to do here for the next few minutes. I will be using a direct shot down at my desk. But these are the devices that we're going to open up. You can see I have a number of things to open up and show you guys tonight. We're going to take a lot of time unboxing these, but I am going to go through why I purchased each one of these. One of them is kind of a test to see if it's something I'm going to like. And we'll talk about that here in a second. So we are going to go to another camera view, and I should be able to just hit this right here. And now I'm on my wireless Go 2 microphone, so you guys should still be hearing me. Looks a little bit hot, but let me know if you guys like the levels. I'll watch the chat. And I see, even though I don't have chat on the air, I see Ernesto, my fave tech, and so I say hi back. I'll put your greeting on the screen a little bit later. So I originally started with the one transmitter because I could connect it directly to my RØDECaster Pro 2. Then I decided to buy this kit. Now you can get them in a kit of 3, and it'll come with a bigger bag. If you buy 2, obviously it comes with this bag. If you buy 1, it comes with no bag. And if you buy the 3 kit of the wireless Go 2s, then you get the bigger bag, and there's different type kits. You can even get them with microphones I've seen on Amazon. So I have these things. So the bag, mainly I just put all the accessories in here. I'm not going to go through this. I've covered it in another video. So we're going to just get this out of our way. But these 2 microphones have a USB-C port to charge. And so I have a cable that I keep in the studio all the time. It's just so it can reach my desk. And so if I use this microphone, as soon as I'm done, I plug in the USB-C cable and I set it away. But it's a lot of work, and I want a minimum amount of work as much as I possibly can because I'm trying to semi-retire. So one of the ways I can semi-retire is like this. I can find a way to charge these 2 guys because it doesn't come with a charging case. And so I have the charging case. So there's the front. It's called the charging case for the wireless Go 2. And obviously it's RØDE. You got the logo on that side. You got all this wonderful information in the background. KO'd my mics there. And And then you have a picture of the packaging and how they go in. So you're going to unzip it and you're going to put the clip and the microphone down. And this will be a charging case. It also will hold the kit of 3. So we're going to finish looking at the box. There is the bottom. And so I think I hit it all: front, top, back, even though that's upside down. And KO'd my mics again, picture, logo, and then barcode and that kind of stuff. So you open it from the bottom. So I'm just going to cut this seal with my steak knife right there. Handy dandy steak knife. My wife loves when I use these to unbox. Not. So open this up. And one of the things I have noticed about a lot of these boxes, you got to undo them from the side because they have these little tabs here and it's hard to get to. So we are opening this from the bottom for whatever reason, why they designed this pack. So I can pick this little lever up, and there is the case. And I'm going to pull it out here. And if you open it from the other side, you'd be able to grab this, but it's actually the back at the top and the front at the bottom, and that's how they package it. So we're going to set that down for a second. And then it's just cardboard inside, nice spacing, nothing else in here, nothing in the side compartment. They could have slipped this right down in the side compartment, but it was just laying there. And this is the instructions. So we're going to take the box and set it on the floor. And we're going to just look at this little starting guide here. So it's all the information right here. So it's got 15 little bullet points. Actually more of that, 15 on this side. Safety information all the way. And then 15 over here in a different language. And then North America here. And looks like, I don't know, it looks almost like German. So anyway, I'm not going to read that. And then on this side, some other safety information. Love your charge case. You have a little scanning code right here for more information. And so you just scan that with your phone and you have access to that. So we'll open up the case. Well, let me show you the case first. Here's the back. You got a charging port and a button. And I have not done any research of how this works. It's got a little battery indicator right there. It's really tiny, but I'll hold that up. The bottom has all the technical information. And it's a nice alligator kind of feeling rubber case. So very sturdy. It's solid, but it's all like a rubber, it feels like. So open up the zipper and pop it open. And there you go. And it even tells you transmitters here, receiver right there. So we'll grab the receiver, and remember it has, I believe, the clip this way and down. So that one's in, and it doesn't have a charge yet. So we're going to grab my handy dandy cable, and we're going to go ahead and plug this in and see what happens right here. Starts blinking that it's charging. So we'll let it just play around with charging. Then we'll grab my spare transmitter and we'll pop it in. I believe it goes like this. Yep, because you want the USB-C port in. So there you go. And it is showing me that that is charging. The receiver just shows charging in here, so you're not going to see a little flashing light on it. It always shows it right here. So I'm going to plug that in. And so then the microphone I have on, which I'm not going to drop in there yet, would go right here. So now I have a charging case. So once I get this fully charged, and right now it's flashing red, get those in. There's not really extra room in the case, so I will be keeping all the accessories in the bag. And if you buy the new RØDE Wireless Pro, it does come with the case and a separate zip case for all the accessories. So you don't get one of these bags. I like this because this could be just thrown in my vehicle, but the DJI kits, they have adapters, and we are going to do an A/B comparison to the the DJI mics and the wireless goes next week because NAB needs to be the focus tonight because we're in NAB week. But I will be comparing the wireless transmitter of the Go 2 to the DJI version 1. And then eventually I'll have the pro version here of the DJI because I have a client that has it. He's already agreed that I could borrow it for the live stream. So I'm hoping to have that here next Tuesday as well, so we could compare these two to the older DJI kit, and then we can compare these two, DJI and this, to the new wireless Go Pro kit, which comes with the charging case and comes with another zip case to put all the accessories in. So this will hold all 3 mics. I can just zip it up and be ready to go. Now, one of the things I have is a iPhone 13, and that is right here. And I do have the scan code for the overhead camera, so I could change to the other view and back again. I'm using this tonight because I had trouble with the software last week on my PC, so I had this open just in case. So I can go around. I can also go back to the product table and show you guys what's left on the product table. So let's grab another one of those items and let's play. So this right here is going to be my cable. So I needed a USB-C to Lightning. So this isn't super exciting, but I needed this because if I want to use this, if I want to be able to use this wireless receiver on my iPhone, I have to have a cable. And I did put a link to this cable. There's different sizes. I took the shortest one, which is about 6 inches. So this is going to plug into the receiver, USB-C, and then this side will plug into my iPhone. And then I will be able to use this. So I needed a way, because I use my phone all the time to shoot. I love using my phone. I am going to update very soon. So I have plenty of USB-C cords, even though I'll get a nice braided shorter one like this. So USB-C to USB-C, but this is USB-C on this side to Lightning on this side. And I think most of you know that Lightning is kind of going away. So the new iPhone 14 and 15 all have USB-C. They're faster. Faster charging available, faster transfer of information. But I now needed some way to mount my phone and be able to mount the transmitter. The transmitter actually can go onto a cold shoe or a hot shoe. And so the phone doesn't have one of those. So how can I get my phone to have one of those? Well, let's just find out how you do that. And there it is. This little device right here. Go. So we're going to move this out of our way. And I'm going to move my phone and this little receiver that will pick up 2 microphones. I'm going to set it aside. My little case for my USB-C to Lightning cable. And this is, I really like these. The older version, I have 2 of these, and they're for mounting my phone. You can do it on a music stand or a tripod. They're great, and they can go landscape or portrait, and I love that. So there's the side of the box. Again, the brand is Joby. They also make the Gorilla Pods. You can see a Gorilla Pod in this picture. So they have these kits. And then they have devices like this, and I needed the hot shoe on the top because, again, I want to be able to use the hot shoe on the back of the RØDE receiver. So we will keep that in the frame. So that's the back. That's the side, and it shows you how it locks and the mounting here and there, and then the tilt adjustment, and then again, more mounting to a base information right there. And so it's got the window in the front, all that information on the back, and then just paperwork there. And then here's some measurements, not measurements, but just some different languages and stuff there. So we are going to open this up, and this just opens up on the top. We're going to pull the tray out of the box. Another box on the floor, and then we'll pull this out. And this is the device. So for me now, I will be able to use the hot shoe to slide this on. I think it goes this way. I've never done this before, so let's see. Yeah, I think you definitely go like this. So there we go. Turn that around. So I will be able to have this on top. I got to read the top screen. So if I push the button, the transmitter will come on, but I don't want my wireless mic to have any interference with 2 transmitters in the room. So I've powered this on before. So that's my solution. This will go on my stand. And when I'm using the Wireless Go, which I like the microphone better than the DJI, so I will be using this for all of my remotes now. Instead of my DJI kit, I'm going to retire it to the studio if I ever need 4 wireless microphones in here. And if I buy more Rode microphones, then I will retire the DJIs from both mobile and here. Now, I may take the DJI mic kit with me, like places when I go out of the country. So if for some reason it gets stolen, I'll only cry half as long as I would if my Wireless Go 2 kit gets stolen. So, okay, we're going to unplug this just so you guys can see how it goes. Tight. And so you have a little stop in the back, a little silver stop right there. So it's going to go back and stop, and it fits there nice and tightly because it's spring loaded. So that spring helps create some friction, and there you go. So now this just has a clip. I like the DJIs because they had a magnet, and so I wanted to also check out the magnet. Did it lock up? Let's go to product on the table. Okay, so we have 2 items left. We're going to bring those over here. Move my phone over. So we have the new MagClip Go, and then this is another company. It's a company called FRGYEE. They're silicone cases. So we're going to go ahead and open this up. And these are designed to protect my microphone and my transmitter. So just going to have to tear this open, pour those out. And those will go on the transmitters, and they're designed specifically. A link in the description for all of this. This is in the description. The MagClip Go is in the description. All of that, the lightning cable, and all of that is in the description for tonight, so you can check that out. So this will go on the receiver, transmitter. I will have these on, and we'll demo these. Actually, you know what? Let's just go ahead and demo one of these. So we're going to put this on right now. Not sure if there's any, it's like putting a pillow together. I'm going to slide it down in there. Feel like I'm putting rubber boots on. Remember those rubber boots that would go over your boots, your feet, your shoes that we wore when we were kids? Those of us that are in our older 50s or so. So there you go. So you still have access to the clip in the back. You have a recessed button here for turning it on and off. And you can see the 2 lights. It's cut out for that. So now it's going to protect it. It gets rid of the logos. I don't want logos on people I mic up that say RØDE. So this loses all the logos but that. And so now you have that all set up. And the other ones will fit just like that, nice and snug. So let's open up this. This is like sealed. So I'm just going to have to break the seal here. And when I did this for my microphones, it pretty well destroys the box. So be careful when you want to check something out and return it, because they're using heavy glue in here. And so the box is pretty well shot both sides. I'm not planning on taking this back. So again, mag clip go, logo on the side, how it goes together on the back comes with 1X clip and 1X magnet, and then barcode on the bottom, RØDE there, RØDE there. So we'll pull this out. And even the magnet is in here pretty strong, so throw the box away. I'm done with that. So you got a magnet on one side, and it's a pretty big, heavy magnet, and then you got the clip. And so this is how you're gonna take your transmitter and make it metal. So this just slides on. So we're gonna push this button, and we're gonna slide it on. Now, I only bought one of these. They're not cheap. So I wanted to try it out. So once you brand it again, right, we need more branding, obviously. And this has got just the Go logo on there. I don't know if you can see that. See if you guys can see that little embedded logo right there. So then magnet. So this side, magnet. This side, magnet. It's got kind of a rubber layer. So now I could take this transmitter and put it on using a magnet. So we're going to go ahead and turn this one on so it links to my RØDECaster Pro 2. So I unmuted it. So this is the one that's live now. So we're going to pull this one off. And I will probably definitely be ordering another one of these magnet clips because I really like it. I just wanted to see it. So take the magnet off, and now like a RØDE lav mic or a DJI mic, I could hide this under here. I could put it between two buttons like I do a lot with my DJI mic. So I get it in there first. Make sure the microphone is pointed up. It's omnidirectional microphone. Now we'll change the sound just a little bit, FYI, when I do this. And you are going to see the magnet. There you go. Now there's just a black magnet with no logo on it. And so it's a little less obtrusive. And this can be slid underneath the shirt right here. So let me show you how I like to do that. So if this is all the way under, sorry, I'm burying my chest here. Apologize for that. But if this is all the way under, and then you put the magnet on, then you can actually button this part of your shirt right over top of it. So it's a great way to hide a microphone. This is what it sounds like when it's hidden like this. So obviously I'd have to do the button like this. Dressing instructions tonight, blow by blow. So you can hide this microphone a number of ways. Obviously when you're short sleeved and wearing shirts like this. Now, I like to wear button-up shirts because a lot of times when I'm out, I am trying to put microphones on myself. So over the years, I've just kind of gone to these shirts. If it's my day off, I'm not working, I'll go into t-shirts. But you guys typically see me in these button-down shirts. But now I have the microphone on here with the mag clip, and I'm really liking it. So let's pull that back off, and let's move on to the next part of tonight's video. So grab the magnet off. Redress myself. So we'll turn this one off. So the lights went out, and now I'm back on my original lav mic, and I'm just watching the audio meters to make sure. Now, I wish the monitor that I had over here had audio meters. So I am going to be buying a different confidence monitor over here. I do have my prompter on my Camera 3, or more commonly called the Tony Quick Tech Solutions cam. So put this back on. And so we're kind of done with the unboxing. So our first vote is for this tonight. Do you like these little cases? And do you like the advantage of the clip? Now, keep in mind that if you buy the DJI wireless kit too, it has magnets, it has the attachments, but you'll just have to do a comparison between Rode mics and DJI mics. And obviously DJI is getting better and better at sound and other things. And we'll talk about some of the things that they just came out with that was announced at NAB. So again, kind of done with the wireless Go kit, except for there's two new items we're going to talk about here later. One predominantly, but I'll go ahead and let the cat out of the bag. I'm thinking about getting the handle. So they have a reporter handle that this will just snap onto, and then it has a windscreen that goes over it, and it looks like you have a regular wireless mic. And in segment 2, we're going to talk a little bit about the options that Rode is doing to be able to integrate their podcasting, live streaming tech that they're coming out with for either gamers or live streamers or video producers or people that are just using the equipment inside their home studios or their office space as interfaces. But the fact that you can connect two transmitters to the newer RØDECaster Pro Duo as well as the RØDECaster Pro 2, and that's pretty cool, because you could do a podcast just with two of these, and maybe one of these days they're going to come out with a RØDECaster Pro 3, and that will probably have two transmitters, so you could have 4 wireless mics, and who knows, they might go to 6 channels or 5 channels of audio. So there you go. So this one's turned off. I'm going to now, everybody's going to want to know, will this still fit in the case? So we're going to go ahead and go back to my overhead camera here. I just need to change the super source. And we're going to open this up. We're going to take this transmitter off. We're going to drop it back in, RX. And then we're going to take this. Now, has the magnet, I doubt very serious this is going to fit with the case. And there you go. It does not fit. So if you want to use these covers, then you're going to have to use them when you get on a job. And that's what I was concerned at, but they're so tiny and rubbery and compact, I felt like I could take one of these or 2 of these with me on a shoot, because I just don't want to use the branding. So the magnet is going to have to stay out. So try it with the magnet now. And it will go in. And it started charging. So I could take the magnet and just put it right there. So I think it's going to work. The only way to really test this is go to this mic as well. So we're going to pull it out. I'm going to mute it and go to my SM7B, and let's see what happens here. Yeah, even with the magnet clips, I'd be able to get one there and one here. So you can use the clips with the case, but you're not going to be able to use these rubber covers. So we'll see if that would just fit in there and zip. And it does. So I could just put those in the case. I'm not sure I'll get all of them in there. We can pile them in there and see. And I was able to get them all inside the case. So we'll set that aside for now. But that should have answered most of the questions that would come up in relationship to how to use that. So I have a way now to get my phone ready to go on here. Hook my phone on, could go landscape, or I can turn this and go portrait. And then I could just take the receiver and put it up here and plug this into the receiver. And obviously this cable has to be long enough. So the one thing I was curious about is what side this is going to plug into. So let's test this. make this a thorough review here. Pull out the TX and I would just slide it on the way I need it to go, like this. And this is perfect length to plug in like that. Now, the good news is, if you don't like this setup, DJI just announced a whole new kit, a magnet that goes right on the back of your phone. Now, I have a case, so I'll use this system, but I don't know if it would stick to this, but you can go to NAB 2024 videos, DJI, and you're going to see that they actually have a new magnet type attachment that goes on here for you to be able to shoot with your phone. But I always put this on a tripod or on a super clamp with a friction arm or a light stand and screw it in right there, and it gives me the ability to shoot mobily. Now you have the new Blackmagic Design app, and that gives you the ability to use it. So let's get back to my microphone actually being in front of me. So that's it. That's the kit. So I have the new adapter. I have the receiver, 2 transmitters. I can link it just by pushing the buttons, link them to this instead of my RØDECaster Pro 2. Unpair them there and pair it to this. It's very quick. And maybe one of these nights that we're talking about this kit, we will demo that. But so I'm going to set this aside. My phone's trying to shut off because I hit the buttons and don't need this view anymore. So that's the first half of tonight's live stream. Let's get back in the chat and see if you guys have anything that you would like to say or comment on in relationship to all that we just covered. I said I would put this on the air. So thank you for joining us, Ernesto. Also, Akil, thank you for joining us. And just Jenna. Hi, Keith. Excited to be here. Yeah, I think I know who you are. It's good to have you here, Jenna. I can't see your still image, but I'm almost positive that you might be from the East Coast. So we'll leave it at that unless you want to tell people more. So good to have you, David. Laugh out loud. It should be, did you label the input source on the ATEM, the Tony Cam? Laugh out loud. No, I haven't labeled the input source, the Tony Cam, but obviously I've shared this before. Tony likes that camera angle. So when I cut to camera 3, I like to give a shout out to Tony. And so cool. Okay, back to me and the logo here. Digadence Media, thank you for joining us. Just Jenna, yeah, that is Jenna. So maybe we'll get a chance to someday have you on the channel and you can talk about all the things that you're doing. But everybody say hi to these new guests tonight. It's great to have them. Lots of people joining in tonight, and that's really cool to have some new people. Again, subscribe only chat is enabled. All that means, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, you need to subscribe. And then if you don't like the content, you don't want to chat after tonight, you'll be able to chat within a minute once you subscribe, and then you can just unsubscribe later. But I appreciate you guys all being here. So, okay. I did not get a chance to stay with the stream last night, Jay. I was going to watch it tonight. Again, my Monday nights are crammed every week here at the house. And so, but I did see that you did a Blackmagic Design stream last night. So guys, go over and check out Jay's stream last evening and watch what he was talking about with Blackmagic Design. Now, I will say this. You may say, well, you're going to talk about Blackmagic Design, Keith, so why would I go to Jay's channel? Well, the cool thing about Jay is he's in broadcasting, and so his input and his knowledge supersedes mine in a lot of areas. That's why I enjoy the collaboration of having here people here on the channel, because there's people with experience in technology and understanding outside of my area of understanding. So again, thank you for joining us, and go over and check out Tony's stream, TVJ. Sorry, not Tony's, TVJ's stream. Tony has a channel as well. DJ Ware has a channel as well. Doug Forrest has a channel as well. David has a great channel on photography. That's David Osler. And some of the rest of these guys may have channels as well. I'm just trying to remember if I missed anyone that's actually live streaming. I believe David has a channel as well, and that's Grisco. If I pronounced that right, I hope I did. If not, I apologize before you heckle me. How many monitors do you have that you use in front of me? Too many. So I can just tell you this, Akil, I have monitors everywhere. And I have a monitor that goes below my prompter because my prompter does not show the program view. So when I turn to look at camera 3, that's why I'm using this camera tonight, because I don't have a lot of space to put it in this section over here. So, but right now I can watch chat in my prompter by Elgato, and you guys can see that if I cut to, let's see, this died. And this camera is going to be a little crooked. I apologize. It just fell over. So I'll get out of the way. So here's the prompter. And I usually have a monitor right here, but I have it disconnected right now. And that shows me the program out so I can see what you guys are seeing. I can see the chat on the air, but I can monitor the chat up here too. I also have a monitor by my RØDECaster Pro, and that's what I'm using to display chat. So I click on chat over there and it will pop up on the screen. So if I click on your chat, it disappears. And that's my Wacom One tablet. I could incorporate in my live stream, and I could write on it and write on the screen. I'm going to do that in a live stream in May, and talk a little bit about the different apps that you can use and writing on the screen. So the key is to really write on the screen that whatever you have on the program, that's what you want to write on. So if you don't have that on the tablet or whatever device you're using to write on, you would have to guess where you're writing. So having a screen in front of you so that you can watch it is really important. Now then over here, and I'll cut to camera 3. Over here, over my shoulder, I have my BenQ monitor, and it has 4 inputs. So 2 HDMI. So this is an HDMI input showing my, no, this is Lightning. No, this is HDMI, and this is HDMI. This is DisplayPort, and this is a Lightning, or yeah, Lightning. So Thunderbolt. So that's Thunderbolt, DisplayPort, and this one's been flickering a bit on me. I don't know if I'm just, my interface is starting to die, or my video card on my PC, but that's been flickering on me, but it's not flickering when I bring this as on air. So OBS is down there. That's my PC. This is my laptop displaying the control software. This is my multi-view coming from my Extreme ISO #1, and I have another ISO, and I can bring that multi-view on the air in one of these boxes by just choosing output 1 or output 2 of my Extreme. And right now I'm showing my HyperDeck, my old version of my HyperDeck, and this is showing my camera 3, camera 2, and then my camera 1, and that's why you can see 3 angles of me in that. So that is 4 monitors in one. I could make that just 2 screens. I can make it 1 screen. I could also do picture-in-picture, but that's a 32-inch BenQ. It's also designed to do color correction. So it's a proper monitor for doing photographs in Photoshop. So I'll go full screen when I want to just have full screen. So I monitor all that. Then I have a confidence monitor up here above that camera. Again, a confidence monitor in front of this camera. My prompter is right here, so I can see my whatever I drag over from my desktop, and I could put a monitor below that. I have all the hookups here already, power cord. I have the HDMI cable, but I don't have a mounting system to put it right here, because right below it is my Extreme, or my Stream Deck Plus, And so I want to keep it there on my desk because I can use all of this for editing in Adobe Premiere. So that's really important to me. So that's on my desk. So I have to find a way to mount it to my friction arm, and I'm using all my mounts right now. So I could use a super clamp and a little knuckle joint on it to put it right underneath there. I was using a device. Is it in my drawer here? Oh, I can't find it. So that's the monitors. And then I also have this monitor right here, which is showing multi-view. I can change this to show my A10 Mini Pro. Let's change to this camera. Oh, I want you guys to see it. So that's the best camera. So I can change this in a consult to show the A10 Mini Pro multi-view. So if I'm training, I can show this because I have my A10 Mini Pro right here on my desk sitting in the corner. So I have 3 ATEMs on my desk right now. So 1, 2, that can be 4. So that's 6, 7, 8. If I do my other one, 9, 10. 10 monitors, not counting my iPad. And I use my iPad for mix effects, and it's mobile, and unplug it so I can go anywhere I want using my iPad, and I can control the macros and all that stuff. So if I want to change back to camera 3 here, I can just hit the macro. If I want to change back to my live still image, there's my live still image, back to me and a logo right here, and they're all in macros, and I'm using the app Mix Effect, which is just under $50. One-time purchase from the App Store. It's only for iPads, iOS, not for Android. Apologize for that, but Adam Tao, who designed it, does not know how to design. He says in the Google type apps, phones that aren't Apple. So if someone's out there and want to collaborate with him and design it, that's something you have to talk with Adam with. But this is a great app if you have an iPad. And that runs all of my ATEMs. So I can hook up to any one of them. It's not instantaneously, but it works. So that's the monitors that I have in the studio. Then I also have my laptop, which you guys can't see. And my laptop has a monitor. So lots of different monitors in here. Because when I'm training and doing consulting, I might as well say it real quick. I do have a consulting program. I do a free consult, mainly focusing on how to use these type of equipments in the workplace or in a venue, or if you want to stream from home, do a podcast, do video, or just audio. That's why I'm set up this way, so I can take people around the room. That's why I have 2 instant 360 links, so I can shoot down on my desk. I can show people the lights I'm using. Again, I want to be able to just sit here and show different parts of my room and not have to get up and take an iPhone and walk around, and that's why I do that. So if you're interested in a free consult and you haven't used it, then just go to the link in the description below. It'll be there tonight or last week's live stream, and there's a link there to my contact page. And just make sure you tell me that you're looking for an opportunity to have a free consult. That's through Zoom. 1 hour, free, costs you nothing, and you don't have to sign up to consult. My consulting, that's not the focus. It's finding out what you're doing, and then if I can help at some point, we can talk about how that works. So, okay, I want to move on to this next segment because we have lots to cover here and not a lot of time. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to go me in a slideshow. I don't even know if this will still work, but I'm going to try it. Oh, there we go. So there's the slide from tonight's still image. I'll look at the chat here in a minute. I want to get started here because I'm notorious for getting distracted. And then we'll be here all night. So, but I will respond to the questions. So the first thing I want to talk about is Blackmagic is doing some things. Apologize for the picture. It's got the white border. I didn't do my PNG tonight. But this is the extreme ISO, and this has 8 inputs, has 2 HDMI outputs. You're able to send a number of different sources to those 2 HDMI outputs. two USB-C ports. So one could be webcam to your laptop, PC, or Mac. The other one could be in an SD drive, so you could record. This is the ISO model, so it records all the different ISO tracks. And one of the things that I heard said in the announcement from Blackmagic Design is they have a firmware update coming up to where this is going to be able to output through the USB-C port to DaVinci Resolve and be able to see the things that are on your C drive. So if you have a C drive or a SSD drive plugged in through one USB port and the other one is plugged into your laptop and you're running DaVinci Resolve, the new firmware is going to let you be able to see all that information, and you can incorporate that then, not all the cool new features that are available, but you're going to be able to incorporate that in something that I think is pretty incredible that Blackmagic Design is doing now. And I'll be looking into that a little bit more. It's a lot to digest, a lot of information. There's so many slides on the Blackmagic's page talking about this, but I want to just go ahead and let that cat out of the bag. And I promise I don't really have a cat in a bag here, but this device right here also is available from Blackmagic Design. And this is the ATEM micro panel, so you can actually take the new rack-mounted devices and control them. You see those 4 buttons at the top, and I wish I could put a mouse on the screen, but I can't right now. But the 4, can I do it by turning chat on the air? Chat on. Let me see if my mouse will go over there now. Nope. Chat off. So, but you see the 4 buttons by themselves on the top. That's so you can switch MEs. So that controller right there has, I think, 1 macro button. It has the sliding bar for transitions. You have the ability to use that to control 4 different MEs. So if you had a 4 ME in your studio in a rack, you can now control it and have push buttons and all that. And you have a top row and a bottom row, which you don't have on an Extreme or an ATEM Mini Pro or Pro ISO. So you get all the buttons again. It's Bluetooth. It's supposed to be very intelligent, easy to hook up. So now you can control a 1 ME, a 2 ME, or a 4 ME all from that device right there. And that is pretty stinking exciting. So I was loving that. And I'd love to get your guys' feedback or thoughts on that. And then I'm going to click on another device right here, if I can find it on their website. In fact, let's just do this. Let's change what's in box 2 right now. Let's go to me and my laptop. So there's tons of things that Blackmagic Design announced. And if you go down here, blackmagicdesign.com, and you click on products on the top, you're going to get all the products. These are the categories. But if you just scroll down here, anytime they do new releases, they'll show you those products. And they usually have special pages on this page dedicated to them. But they've released so many new things. Everywhere where you see the little blue new is new. So we're going to scroll down here and let you see how many news there are on here. Now, some of these are like multiple news. So you can see right there, there's a new Blackmagic camera that we just went by. There's another new camera. And we'll keep going down here. There's new stuff available in editing, color correction in DaVinci Resolve. And then you have a new DaVinci Resolve replay editor. And that's what I want to talk about right here. So the fact that you have the ability to ingest directly from your SSD drive from your Extreme ISO in the very near future with a firmware update, then you're going to be able to actually bring that into whatever you have hooked up, if it's your laptop, if it's your PC, or it's your Macintosh, through that USB-C port. The DaVinci Resolve is going to be able to look at all that footage inside your ATEM Extreme. Now, there's more features available using the DaVinci Resolve update that's coming. I think it's already been beta available right now on their page, so you can check out the beta already. But there's other devices that are specifically for higher end studios to do replay and editing, and they release those as well. But the fact that they now have another desktop device, you can see it right here. I have a picture of it that I'll just throw on top of everything right now. It didn't go. Let me try that again. So there's this speed editor, and that's just crazy for replay. So that's all designed for replay, and you can go watch the video, but I think this is really cool. I've had a lot of clients over the years, people asking me questions. Can you do replay through HyperDeck, and how would you coordinate all that? And the fact now that they have done what they're doing with DaVinci Resolve, they're going to make it the ability to control replay. And remember now, you have the ability to ingest live in a lot of the new devices that Blackmagic Design has come out with. And now you can ingest video. You're just going to have the device to be able to access those. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time tonight talking about this, but I just wanted to say the fact that they have a new desktop device to be able to run your rack-mounted MEs. They also have added, let's go back to me, and we'll come back to this page. We're going to be back here in a second, but let me just do this again. I want to go me in a slideshow. And so they also have 4K devices. Here's the ATEM 1ME Constellation 4K. Here's the new 2ME Constellation 4K. So now they have 4K devices in that same lineup. Again, those don't encode, they don't stream, but they have some features in them to replay shorter clips of video. There's a lot more outputs. It's particularly SDI. Lots of you that are live tonight own these or own types of these, but now there's 4K versions available. And then to kind of put a monkey wrench in what I teach, how to use HyperDeck, now they have this thing. This right here in itself, we could do a whole night on, and I'm not going to dive into it much right now, but I can tell you this, bring up my program view. This Media Player 10G is an incredible device, and so we will talk more about this in the future. It's just under $1,000. What would you use it for? It's going to be a lightning device that's going to take you to the next level. And you can bring video into it, and you can bring video out of it simultaneously. So for replay, this is going to be in studios in America and around the world that are trying to do replay, or venues that are trying to do replay for sporting events or whatever it might be, skating, basketball, three tournaments. I have a former client of mine that does hockey. He has high-tech equipment now, and he broadcasts hockey, one of the nicest broadcasts for the junior leagues in Canada. And so this is going to be something that you can incorporate with your laptop with DaVinci Resolve and get it in your network and be able to do some pretty incredible things. So again, 10G. So there's guys here on the channel that could talk way more about 10G. That is just networking 10 times faster than I have here in my house. I know Tony has 10G going on in his house. I think Joe does as well. I think Jay, I think you have some 10G stuff. Let us know in the chat if you do. But again, another great device that Blackmagic Design has announced, and I'm pretty stoked. So let's go back. I just want to continue down here to overwhelm your mind with all the updates. So here is that device. It's under the new category. DaVinci Resolve, the free and the paid version have been updated. Again, they've been doing great updates. They have new updates for coloring. Here's the new little DaVinci Resolve micro control panel. So this little control panel is available as well to go on top of your desk. A lot less expensive than the bigger panels that you see there on the top. Now you have a small panel. You can see what it looks like. You can take your new iPad and put it in there and use the iPad version of DaVinci Resolve, and you could then do coloring on the fly. Throw those two things in your briefcase, take them on a road trip, and do your coloring wherever you're at. You could have a little rack. There's so much stuff now that you could do on a smaller scale, but on a bigger scale, because these devices are available. So I'm stoked. can't believe there's so much being announced. Again, $509 for that device. We'll scroll back up here. $495 for the DaVinci Resolve Replay Editor. We'll scroll up here even further and look at the devices up here. So new camera, that's the new 12K. They have another chip coming out, and there's a brand new chip going in that camera. So they're even making new chips for cameras. It's incredible of what they're doing. And you can even see the new Blackmagic media module that comes in a kit, or you can buy it separately. And they're going to have, I think, 3 different sizes of that, 16 and even more. Then you have this new Blackmagic 6K camera updated. Then we'll go down here. Let's see, did I go all the way up to the top? Yep. Let's see. You have this little Blackmagic Micro Studio camera, 4K G2. That's new. We're going to keep going down here. I see chats coming in. Just hang tight. DaVinci Resolve, Replay Editor. Keep going down here. Nothing new in my favorite category in the ATEM area. Nothing new in the desktop consoles. But you do have an ATEM 1ME Constellation 4K, which we already talked about. And there's also a 2K as well. I don't know why it doesn't say new there on the, right next to the ATEM 1ME. So they missed one blue new. And we'll keep going down here. You have a new HybridX Extreme 4K with same size as the 8K. So that's tempting. A 4K HybridX with a big screen on the front may eventually be in a studio near me. The Shadow, which is pretty new. Not all of these were announced this week, but these are newer devices. And then there's all of these new Decklink IP cards. So not everything was announced at their announcement, but all of this Blackmagic 2110 IP stuff was announced. 2110 is a new way to transfer data through networking, and they wanted to simplify it, make it super easy. So they created all of these devices, and the converters are $295, and then you get into bigger devices over there. You have the IP converter for 12G, which will actually has 4 signals can come to it. That's the large device at the bottom. And then you have the smaller devices that are on the desk as well, and they're right here. So in this section right here, you have Teranex, but that is changed. You have the new 4K G3 monitor that they had on display in the announcement. They have the new Blackmagic Design 12G audio monitor for audio levels. That's $1,295. It's got a little preview window there. And then we'll continue scrolling down. The Blackmagic Cloud Store, that's been around for a while. But this new Blackmagic Cloud Store Max is something new, $6,400. And I think that comes in 2 sizes, if I remember the announcement right. We'll keep going down here, going down. Blackmagic Ethernet switch 360p right there. So you can actually switch signals on your 10G network, I believe. It is 10G, and that's used for 2110 again. Again, another way of moving video quickly through a network, 10G network. And we'll keep going here. Ultimate 12 HD Mini, Ultimate 12 HD, Ultimate 12 4K, and Ultimate 12 8K. And you can see all of the stuff that Blackmagic Design has been throwing at us, way more than I can wrap my head around. So we're going to take a break, get the chat back on here. So let me go back to me and a logo. Let me get chat on the air here. And let's just catch up here. So 23 watching, that's good news. Please give pros and cons to the ATEM Micro Control Panel and Stream Deck with Companion. Joe, please give pros and cons. Welcome, by the way, Joe. Oh, that's a great question. I'm not sure I can even wrap my head around that question right now, Joe. I can just tell you this, that if I had the control panel, I wouldn't get it right now anyway, because I use desktop ATEMs, so I have buttons on the front of them. But if I was to update and get away from my way I'm doing everything, I'm streaming right now from my ATEM Extreme ISO. You can't stream directly from these new rack mount devices, the 1MEs, the 2MEs, doesn't matter if they're HD, the old version, or the new versions, or the new 4Ks that were announced, the 4ME that's available, the 8K, which local church I've worked at, they have the 8K version of that. None of them encode and stream, so you have to do like a web presenter, HD or 4K if you want to stream from that. So I would, and then companion, I'm in Stream Decks, which obviously Stream Decks are the devices like this one. This has 8 buttons and dials and a touch screen. The regular Stream Decks just have buttons. So the advantage is, in my opinion, is that's going to link directly Bluetooth and then control it. Again, it's Bluetooth. This runs through your USB-C. And again, Companion runs through your device, like you can have it in a Raspberry Pi. You can also have it in a PC or Mac. But again, it's running in those PC or Macs. So if something locks up, then you lose Companion, and then your buttons don't work from Elgato and the software. So the pros and cons to me is anytime you can get to a really well-built device that's Bluetooth, like a keyboard that's connected. My mouse is Bluetooth. My pop keys keyboard, and this stays connected. I can connect to 3 different devices. They make these that aren't colored. They make them without the big buttons as well by Logitech. But this is great device because I don't have any cables. So Bluetooth, in my opinion, is a big pro. And Companion and a Stream Deck gives you a lot of intuitive control, because this is only going to be able to desktop devices, what you're talking about. Let me get to that and show everybody what Joe has me talking about here. Let me just put my picture back on the screen so we're all on the same page. Oh, I don't have a picture of that. I didn't bring a picture in of that device, did I? I think it's right here, isn't it? Nope. That is another picture of the replay device. So let me find it here. Sad that I don't have that on my desktop already. But let's just see if I can find it again. Down by these consoles. So many devices, so little time. And while I'm looking for this, I spent pretty much all the available time I had from the time Blackmagic Design made their announcement until tonight, just to begin to wrap my head around what they're offering here. And I'm not finding that picture at all here, Joe. So go figure. Saw it earlier, but now I'm not even seeing it on this product page. And I find it very hard to believe that it's not here on this one page. Okay, well, anyway, the Bluetooth device that sits on your desk, I showed it to you guys earlier, that will let you control 4 ATEMs, the 4ME buttons I talked about. And again, I'm not finding that picture. So the pros and cons then, Joe, would just simply be which device is going to be needed. You can do a lot more with Companion and a Stream Deck. I can turn my lights on and off with my Stream Deck. I can use Companion to start and stop HyperDecks. So it will be limited, but for just changing sources, turning keys on and off the air, we'll just have to look into it deeper to find out how well it's going to help people that have rack-mounted devices from Blackmagic Design, because that's really all that matters. If it doesn't help them produce live events, then a Stream Deck is probably the best solution, because it has a wider variety of options of what you can control with it, where the Blackmagic devices are controlling the control software, and that's pretty much it. And again, having the buttons so that you don't have to mouse around in your software that I have on the screen right now. So that device will give me the ability to push all of these buttons, and then if you have a 2ME, there's double this screen. 4ME, there's 4 times this screen. All of the keys and all of that stuff. So the sliding, the transitions, it just really depends on all the things you want to do. You may want more buttons. You may want more macro buttons. So hopefully that does a decent job of answering your question, Sir Joe. So, okay, let me move on here. It's good to have you here, Chio. Cool. What do you think of that version, Chio, of the beta DaVinci Resolve? I guess you'd have to have all those devices to do replay, or the new firmware for your extreme ISO, if you have one. The micro panel is cool concept. I wish it had a network port so I could control the ATEM directly. Yeah, obviously that's probably a con, because it's all going to be just buttons, Bluetooth back and forth. And I haven't had one, so I haven't even experimented with it, but pretty cool that they're giving some control back, affordable control back to people that want the buttons back. And that's why I'm not changing to rack-mounted devices, even though there's huge advantages, like way more outputs and multiple MEs. But I'm only ever recording videos or doing one live stream. I don't need multiple MEs like that. And if I want more inputs, I do have 2 extreme ISOs combined. And the way I do that is by using the 2 HDMI outputs and bringing them into my ISO 1, channels 3 and 4, and then I can bring at least 1 or 2 of those inputs into this extreme I'm using right now. So at very least, Tony used the USB to connect the webcam on a 2ME. Yeah, lots of stuff. I'm not going to go into the details of these tonight. I'm still learning. I've got a lot more studying to do. I'll go in the manuals and read the manuals. So you're talking 12 weeks just to begin to digest the things that they released one at a time. I'm going to focus on the new 10G device that's Thunderbolt, that could be used like a HyperDeck, very similar to it, and be able to send video out and video in again, which is always a challenge with replay, is because a HyperDeck, you got to record to it, then switch over to playback mode. This device is going to be able to go both directions at the same time, which they say is very similar to a DeckLink card. But DeckLink cards can't go both ways. You either have to choose as an input or an output. So evidently these 12G SDIs, they've figured out a way for it to go both ways. And I'm sure that's one SDI out and one SDI in. I know that, which you can do with a DeckLink card. You can have one assigned to bring video in and one to play it right back. So very similar to that, but a Thunderbolt solution you can plug in the front or the back. So pretty interesting. Yeah, Jay says his network core is 10G. Mine isn't. I've been thinking about updating, but it's not going to be inexpensive. But Joe is waiting for 10G internet, considering most of what we do is uploading to Dropbox. Yeah, and there's just a lot of advantages to get away from Google Drive and Dropbox and be able to have cloud storage, both in, not just in the cloud, but in the clouds in your studios, and be able to move all that in your network. Again, I'm a one-man show, So I'm using SD drives to do my editing, but I can see the advantage of these new systems. I have no use for LAN 10G. Okay. Large files is a question then. Okay, so this is a conversation between Tony and Joe. I agree. The bigger buttons, the ability to control it. Good to have you here tonight, Freddie. No problem being late. I just enjoy having you in my live streams. I mainly use Resolve to create video memes for social media. That's cool. I'm really liking the new music mixer. Yeah, I want to get DaVinci Resolve. Jenna was on here earlier tonight. We talked about that. DaVinci Resolve versus Adobe Premiere. I have access to all of the Adobe software. I also have downloaded the DaVinci Resolve. I've edited it before, but I haven't really used a lot of the new features over the last year because I haven't really edited in it for the last year. So, but I love what they're doing with DaVinci Resolve, just to let the world know. 12 weeks to bring in data. So one of the biggest advantages, in my opinion, of this faster, I forget what the terminology is. What would be the terminology, guys, when all of this stuff is combined and you have all the devices? Like, if you know the difference between a Mac and a PC, one of the challenges with PCs, all the years I've had them, and I've also had Macs, is that you're putting all these parts and pieces together. So if your motherboard does not have the highway through it to really move data from drives to your software to the memory on the board and then out to a monitor, all of that has to move throughout that device. And so you know what it's like if you go from a 6-lane freeway and all of a sudden they close 3 lanes, the traffic slows down. That's exactly like a lot of PC issues over the years. So you buy a PC and realize the motherboard's out of date, or you buy a PC and it doesn't have a video card, or you buy a PC and the memory isn't as fast as the chip and all the processors. The thing I love about Macintosh is that when they do build it, it's built to move everything everywhere. So they cost more because that's what they do. And now that they have the chips with everything built on them, the M2 and the new M3 Pro, I think it's called, those chips are crazy. They can edit 6K, 8K video on a timeline and not have things bogged down. So again, that's my 2 cents on bringing all of this speed into that world of transferring data. So some of these cameras make proxy files now at the same time as they're recording high bit rate and high resolution files. So the proxies could go directly to your team somewhere through the cloud and have all of the high-end footage on your drives that you could download later. So they could start editing while you're shooting live. It's crazy what 2110 is going to be able to do to broadcast. I guarantee you that we're going to see more and more conversations like some of you already have. You've had shows and talked about 2110. I don't, but that's the new protocol. Blackmagic Design is really going after it. They're already going after cloud storage. Now they're making their cameras faster. Now they're making things integrate, converting all of that stuff, and the ability to do replay, because that's one thing that they've never really had a solution for. And now Blackmagic Design has a solution for replay. I think that's really cool. Okay. Ecosystem. Thank you, Joe. Okay. Drink to Joe. I got to look back at the camera anytime I take a drink, because it's a joke, inside joke. AKA PCI lanes, yes. Synology, great. I need those. Tony gave me advice on that over a year and a half ago. Tony for Quick Tech Solutions, and I didn't take his advice. No, I did. I just didn't have the budget to pull the trigger. And he does videos on his channel about backup systems and NASAs, as well as installs for low voltage wiring and security cameras and so much stuff. So I barely touched my M2 MacBook. Yeah, because those things are crazy. Just Jenna says, yes, I was wondering about the Blackmagic Cloud. Yeah, cloud storage, Jenna, is going to be quite interesting. I think it's still early in the adoption stage, so I'm not going to jump in yet, but I like some of the new devices that they have created for storage, and they make sense. Like you can buy now storage devices with SDs built into them, all that's integrated, and that's pretty incredible. So back in the day, let me just say this. I have a DS1621 Plus. It's been serving me well for years, zero regrets. Cool. Meant he barely uses his M2. Yeah. So HybridX, kind of what a HybridX was for, it's a recorder and playback device. Now they have a key and an alpha channel and a key channel, or a fill and a key, whichever you want to call it. So you can cut out the background. So like if I do an animated graphic over this shirt, the background layer, the key layer is designed to cut the shirt out. So it's just white. So when everything's going across the screen and this fill graphic that has transparency, you're not seeing mores behind it because my shirt plaid is showing through, or those curtains would be showing through as a graphic goes over. So a HybridX can play back fill and key graphics. It takes 2 inputs. You have to use your keys to use it. You either have to turn pre-multiplied on or off in your upstream key to be able to use that. It's also available in the downstream key. The advantage of the upstream key is you can use the DV to position things anywhere on the screen. You can use flying key to have things fly just through the software, or you can create After Effects beautiful graphic that goes across your screen. I've even created one of those for Tony, for a Stinger and other clients of mine in After Effects. And you can use that for making transitions like stingers that close and open as you're changing camera angles to hide that. But you need a fill and a key to really display it correctly on the screen when there's transparency. A logo like this that just has a black solid background and a yellow foreground, it doesn't really need an alpha channel, but I could still render this from Photoshop either way, with an alpha channel, without it. But in reality, these graphics just sit there. They're not flying across the screen. It doesn't have any transparency. But if I made the black box a transparency, and even the Life Journey Productions transparent, then if that was flying across the screen, it would look pretty funny going over my shirt if it didn't cut out the background of my shirt. So that's what HybridX can do, so they can record and play back. So every camera used to go to a HybridX, and then from the HybridX into the switcher. And the HybridX would do all the recordings. A lot of the early cameras in studios didn't have any recording once they went digital. So they were recording on a HybridX, and the camera was just taking the picture, sending it down an SDI cable, and the HybridX did the recording. Now we have cameras with SD cards built into them, so we can record in the camera and in the HybridX. But you need a HybridX for every channel. That's what's so cool about the ISO models that Blackmagic Design sells now. Every channel, it can be recorded in the SD drive, and you don't have to have a HybridX for every single camera angle, or your PC if you want to record what you're showing on the PC, so playing videos back. So I love the fact that they're starting to integrate more and more things, camera to console, 2110, storage, 10G, so it's super fast. So you can edit on your timelines 8 and 12K. You're going to have something that's 10 times faster to transfer that data. And if you don't believe me, try to edit 6K or 8K or higher in footage from a spinning drive. It's not going to happen. So you're going to be slowing down all the time. So that's why the SD drives and having SD cards built into your Macs and your laptops, being able to use that to put your video footage while you're editing, and then use a spinning drive or a NAS that has spinning hard drives, or a NAS that has SD drives in it to back up your storage. So that's where you put things in case you want to get it out and edit it again. But the speed is what really speeds up editing, speeds up all the distribution, and you have to have speed to do replay. So I'm going to move on. Okay. David says he put 10G in mine and used a store for my virtualization cluster. Yeah, all this stuff, guys, is over my head. Just FYI. Synology, Office, Drive, Photos, etc. Great too. These guys are talking back and forth. Okay, I've got more stuff here. Joe pre-ordered the micro control panel. Okay, I would love to see that or know more about it, Joe, when you get it. See what your thoughts are, and then obviously Tony's using this for surveillance 10G video editing. So he's using it for integrating speed from storage to computer for editing, and 10G is just really what you need. Now, you can do quite a bit with 1 gigabyte, but 10 gigabyte transfer rates is really where we're going. And internet speeds obviously have to get up there as well. A lot of people only have 10 gigs of internet up and down, so that's going to slow everything down if you're going to the cloud and back again, or you're streaming to YouTube or Facebook or all the other platforms. But in reality, as internet speeds get faster, then the transfer to storage in your studio and then up to the cloud or to someone else's building someplace else is going to be super important. Okay, back to me. Not that. Chat off the air. Slideshow and me. So I have a few more slides. Thank you very much. Lost my, oh, that's the wrong mouse. That's why. Pull this back over. Okay. Try not to be on 2 hours, guys. So I'm going to try to get this wrapped up as soon as possible. But I want to talk about some other devices here. This really caught my attention. This is, let me get my website open here. So 10-bit ACR OLED 16-nit monitor, Atmos from your iPhone 14 or 15. That's right, iPhone 14 or 15. You can turn it into a monitor now thanks to the guys at Atmos. So here's the pictures from their channel. That's the mounting device that you use with your phone. You can turn it into a monitor, so you see monitors on the left, and then you see phones there to the right on both sides, left of both sides of him. Let's continue down through the site. There's a close-up of it. You can plug a battery in the back, has USB-C input, HDMI input, and HDMI output. I have some slides. I'll pop them up here in a minute. So a great device. There it is, using it as a monitor. So you already own your smartphone, right? If you had a 14 or 15, with this Atmos device, you can now turn this into your camera monitors for your live shoots or for your DJI gimbal. Whatever you're using it, you can now use your smartphone in an intelligent way with a battery on it, with USB-C charging into the phone, integration, as well as HDMI in and HDMI back out, again, pass through. So this device really captured my attention. So you guys can check this out, but there it is spinning. You can see the HDMI in, the video HDMI out, the USB-C input. And so your phone attaches to that device, and it's got mounting hardware on the bottom. So that was announced at NAB. So you guys can go over and check that out. Hopefully you guys won't be spending your money tonight. So let me go back to me and my slideshow. Then I have an Insta360. I do not have any of their, it's a link. It's not like a 360 camera. It's like a webcam with a gimbal built into it. I use it for my Sky camera in my studio. That's what that's what I was using when you were looking at my desktop unboxing. But this caught my attention. Oh, wrong place. Way to go, Keith. Let's replace the background in my super source. This is an 8K. Yes, 8K. There's a video in the link description from Peter McKinnon, one of my all-time favorite YouTubers. Been following him way before I started buying photography cameras and studio equipment like this, back when I had my recording studio. But this camera is crazy. In fact, in the video in the link below, let's just go to the video here before I mess this up. Where is it? I still have it up. Anyway, check out the video in the link in the description to actually see this mounted to airplanes in a special shoot that was done and see how they were able to edit it and using the software from Insta360. So Peter McKinnon is saying that is the best all-time 8K 360 camera that he's ever used. And he was obviously brought in to specifically use it, have all this crazy footage. He has a new bucket shot that he was able to shoot with the solar eclipse that happened last week. Actually, so this thing was in the sky underneath the solar eclipse so they could get some remarkable footage, but also show off these cameras and a number of things. So check that out. I might be buying one of these. We'll have to wait and see. But again, an incredible device. So Blackmagic Design has these new devices that we already talked about. Here is that thing I was looking for all that time. This is what Joe has coming in, the ATEM micro panel. This new Thunderbolt / HybridX device, pretty incredible. You can check that out. We talked about Atomos giving us this, pretty incredible that there's all these inputs. And then you're going to be able to use this to mount your iPhone 14 or 16 to it. That's pretty incredible. And then the last thing that I wanted to touch on tonight, let's do this as well. And then you also had the replay device by Blackmagic Design and so many other things that have been released. Also, Rode came out with a new wireless microphone. This will hook up just like my wireless microphone that I had on, which is off now. It's in the case. So you can use your transmitter with your RØDECaster Pro Duo or RØDECaster Pro 2, or you could buy the handle that everything goes together, and this becomes your wireless microphone with a foam cover to it. Or you can get a pro level wireless microphone with a charging station, because you can just drop this in a charging station, 2 of them. You can get 2 of those with your RØDECaster Pro Duo or your RØDECaster Pro 2, or use a handheld with this receiver, because that will connect with this receiver, and you can have 2 of those microphones. So that is coming into a studio near you. I haven't pre-ordered it yet. I want to do a little bit more research. I try not to buy things the day of the announcement. I do have to wait longer, but I'm wiser when I spend my money. But I love the idea that that device is ready to be used and integrated with the new wireless. Evidently, it'll work with the Go 2, the Me, and the new wireless Pro kit from RØDECaster Pro, the Duo, the little video console. I think it's Streamer X. The RØDECaster Pro 2. So it integrates with that because they have receivers built in, and that's going to be a pro-level handheld microphone. Again, Rode knows how to make good microphones. They know how to make good wireless microphone because they already have wireless microphone kits. But that's really cool because it gives us a little more professional vocal mic, speaking mic. If you want a handheld microphone for interviews, now you have a legit pro level interview microphone. And so much stuff to talk about. And let me go to this. So here's the information on Rode's site. I don't have these links in there. Just go to their site. They're talking about this. They're being interviewed at NAB all about this microphone. And so you can USB charge it. It's got recording built into it. So you can just hit the little record button right up here. So it's got onboard recording, 32-bit float, incredible. So works with the Connect app. So check that out. Learn more about this new wireless pro handheld microphone and how it is revolutionary for pro level microphones. Because again, 32-bit float recording built into it. And if you don't know what that is, that just means that when you're done later and your RØDECaster Pro peaked while you're recording on it, you could go back and get the information off of that wireless microphone, and you would be able to adjust the audio levels down, because 32 float gives you way more bit level, and you can recover peaked sound. So that's going to be a pretty credible device. So again, that's an option. You do not have 32-bit float recording built into the RØDECaster Pro 2 or the RØDECaster Pro Duo. Even though you could export 32-bit, you didn't record at 32-bit, so it's not 32-bit float. So you got to have the new Wireless Pro, the new DJI Mic Kit 2, or you need to have that device if you want to do in recording at 32-bit. So you can do it on the Wireless Handheld Pro. You can now do it in the new Wireless Pro Kit from Rode. You can do it with the new DJI Wireless Kit 2, and you can do 32-bit float recording in those wireless microphones. But again, if you want to have it in a handheld, now you have it, and that is pretty incredible. So that's all I really wanted to talk about at NAB tonight. I did get in my Batman 1/6 scale figure from Hot Toys. So it's in the studio with me, and I told you guys if I had enough votes, I would bring that on the air before we go off the air tonight. Let me bring chat back on and catch up here. Any other comments here? NYCIRL, I love AV over up, but not sure about upgrading to 4K. Number one, it's good to have you with me tonight and with us together in the chat. Yeah, so over IP. And Chio said, 100% to David. I especially love photos and video station. So, guys, I tell you, there is so much transitioning taking place, right? New products. All of these people are competing for different space. This year we saw Mackie and Rode combine. Great companies combining. Now you see companies expanding their reach. You got companies like Atmos that's been around for recording and monitors for recording. So many other things. DJI's got into high-end gimbals and cameras. DJI announced a number of new gimbals before NAB. The list goes on and on. You have new things being announced by all the major camera manufacturers, the microphone manufacturers. So NAB is a hotbed of transitioning. And I didn't even talk about any of the new lights that are coming out. New lights by Aperture, new lights by other companies. For those of you that want to add better lighting, less expensive lighting, more portable lighting. DJI actually came out with a new battery, 1,000 milliamp an hour battery that you can see at NAB. So again, there's lots of things. Go over and see Jay's conversation last night on his channel as he was talking about Blackmagic Design's announcement. Aaron Parecki will be probably back in town releasing videos as him and Photo Joseph were out on the floor with a mobile rig. You can go over and check out their mobile rig, what they're using. They'll be releasing videos. I'm sure Aaron Parecki will let us know lots about what's going on at the Blackmagic booth as well as other places there. Last year, he talked a lot about Osbot cameras and even came home with 2 of their new Osbot cameras that are available that have HDMI out. But it really looks like Insta360 is kicking it with their 8K camera, 360 camera, and the ability to edit. Now, one of the things that's cool about the 360 camera is that once you take that footage, like on the wing of a plane, when you get back, you have all the angles that camera can see, 360 degrees, and you can straighten out the horizon in software. So it is like having 16 to 17 GoPros mounted all over your motorcycle or wherever you're at. Now you can have one camera on a pole above your head on your motorcycle off of the back of your motorcycle, and now you have all of those different angles. Really cool. So they use 2 of those Insta360 4K cameras in that shoot that Peter talks about on his channel. So, okay, if you want me to bring out Batman before we roll on the screen. Please say yes, Batman, or no, Batman, and we will roll out. If we get more yes, Batmans, I'm bringing out the Hot Toys Batman. If we get more no's, then you guys can wait until Dominic and I release the video footage that we shot on Saturday unboxing it, and that will be on another channel that we haven't even launched yet. But if you like shelf-type videos of what I have on my shelves, the Batman's going to be on my shelves. You can see a Miles Morales right there that I've had on the channel before, but Batman is off camera on the other side. Let's see, how do I point? On the other side of this chair, and I had it in the intro video as well. But if you want to see it, Batman yes or Batman no, and then we are going to roll out tonight. I think I've caught up with all of the chat. I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's video, and I'm just going to wait a few minutes for you guys to get your votes in. Right now, vote Batman yes. If you want to see my Hot Toys 1/6 scale modern Batman right here tonight, I will bring him right here on camera. If I get more Batman yes votes than Batman no votes. Okay, let's see. Chat. I've lost my chat on my monitor. Or is it? Huh. Did the chat stop again? I'm not getting any. There's a Batman yes. Okay. I'm going to give you guys another 30 seconds to get your votes in. We got one Batman yes. There may be more votes out there. I'm not seeing them yet. Let me grab my iPhone here. Go into my YouTube channel just to make sure I'm not missing any votes. I got a Batman yes from Chio. Just came in. That's 2 Batman yeses. Okay. 15 more seconds for those votes to get in. Right now, it looks like I'm bringing Batman on the air. David says they're still there. Yep. So get me your votes if you want to see Batman. No or yes. If you want me to end this video, you can vote no right now. DJ Ware, that's 3 Batman yeses. So if you guys don't want Batman on the air, you better vote now no very quickly. I'm going to get him and have him hidden under the edge. As they say in Congress, present. I'm just looking. A few more seconds. Counting down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There is a delay, so I'm going to give you a few seconds of delay. I think it's 6 seconds of delay. Wow, another vote came in. Okay, it's Batman yes. It's too late for you guys to vote no. So here is the Hot Toys Batman and stand. So he's got a helmet in his hand. There's a separate head that goes on here that's just him in his cowl. But here is a look at the Hot Toys Batman. It is as detailed as you're ever going to see. I have accessories that can go in his utility belt, but I'm collecting with Dominic, and I will get out of the camera view here. This camera never wants to focus on this, so let me turn it on manual real quick. There's a close-up look. His pants, stand. Turn around and show you guys some of the cape. Even got flecks of dirt on it. He has 2 different hair pieces, and once he has the mask on, there's different faces. There's 3 faces. This hair will actually come off and a new piece will go on. That's all in a box. So if you don't want the messy hair, you have a more kept hair, it's all magnet. And anyway, pretty incredible detail. 350 bucks. These are already sold out. You'd have to find someone that hasn't accepted their order, but pretty incredible. Sorry for the audio. Pretty incredible, the detail that you can find in the Robert Pattinson Hot Toys Batman, and pretty cool. So I'll put his helmet on. It'll be in the show next week, so you guys can see it with his helmet on. Let me put this back. And that is spinning around in the background. If I bring Skycam on the air and go into my app, click on Batman. Oh, it disconnected. Can I do it up here? Batman was number 5, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Let me bring this on the air real quick. Transition. And let's see. That is input PC. So there he is spinning in the background. Sorry that camera isn't focused better. But there he is on my Foldio 360 spinning around in the background tonight. So that's it for tonight's live stream. We have talked about more tools for my wireless go-to kit. I got the charger now. I've got the magnet clip. I'll be ordering another one tomorrow. So I'll have 2 magnet clips so I can put them underneath people's clothes. Put the covers on when I get to location so that I'm not getting all the branding. I like the subtlety and the non-shiny texture to this. It's great. So all of that mounting stuff I'm going to be using on a regular basis now. So these links are in the descriptions below. They are Amazon associate links, so I do get a little bit back from Amazon, but you pay the same, so thank you if you use those. So if you like this video, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hopefully we'll have more conversations next week about what's been released at NAB. It's still going on, so once that ends, we'll focus a little bit more on those things that we didn't get to touch on tonight, and then we'll move on into other things like testing microphones like this versus DJI, the newer versions, and see what sounds the best in a studio near you very soon. So thank you, guys. I appreciate it. I'll put this last one on the air as we go out. And thank you, Freddie, for those kind words. And you have a great week as well. Thank you, Chio Walker, for being here. Thank you all for being here. I am Keith. This is Life Journey Production Studios, and I'll see you very soon in a video right here on this channel, and hope you'll join me again. Good night.